All right, it's March 17th of 2018. I'm just going to go over a couple of my trades that I did earlier this week. But some were good and some were not. It was more of a 50-50 week. But at least I was able to identify directions and just need to work on my speed. That's pretty much the big issue that I have right now. But other than that, I want to go into a trade that I thought was actually I was hoping that it would go higher. It just teetered around one level for quite some time. That the 302 level. I got into it pretty early. Um, I got into it. I wish back here. That would have been nice. But know, in recent time, I was able to get in. What was this on Tuesday, the 6th? Essentially, I was in around here, this 260 area, and I kind of held it. I was thinking that it was going to break this $3 area, anticipating that move. I knew it was going to have some pullback, but buying in at nice support really did help. I was able to see the pattern started to form. I thought it was just going to keep on making, multi-day highs. This is going on for a couple of days, and it just, as we saw previously, it had a spike. So I was thinking that the odds were pretty much in my favor. It's trading above the 100-day moving average, which continues to give it a bullish signal, meaning that it can have a potential of going up. But as of now, without the right volume, it's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to at least retest $3, but it's starting to straddle that line. So I wouldn't be surprised if a breakout did occur sometime soon. So that's why I still have it on my watch list. And yeah, there's earnings coming out too. So we'll see what this biotech company does. If it does anything, I know of anything, I won't be buying it before earnings are released. So I would want to see how when earnings come out and actually trade for it since I have been watching it for some time. But another trade that I got in on was uh, G GSVC. GSVC. It's funny because I even read an article that said, don't buy over eight, and I still bought over eight. um, and I wanted to get in on this play because I saw that the potential in it because now that there are IPOs of Dropbox and Spotify that are coming out, this company actually has their money invested in them. So because of that, it gives me it kind of like kind of jeers excitement because they already invested early. So if a company is already invested early, why not try to buy into some of their momentum going into the IPO? I just think that makes sense, but whatever. I still went against the rulings on the article that I read off of Bloomberg that don't buy over eight. I actually should let's see if I can actually pull. Was it on Bloomberg or Yahoo Finance? Yeah. Do, do, do. Yeah, GSVC. I'm bugging. All right. So, yeah, it's down. It's down today or on Friday. But where are you? Was it the? See if I can find the article while we're here. But you know, once you see that, I guess a certain insider will have information on where to buy a certain stock at. You kind of want to keep that in mind because why would you want to buy quite above where the analysts might say that not to buy a certain stock. You know, and just not just any old not analyst, but like a reputable one who's been, you know, with a winning track record and stuff like that, who will have an idea of what goes on in the market. You know, if they tell you, hey, you know, here's an advanced look. That's right, early. How did I, you know, skip that? And they have an advantage. They know what's going on in the market. 90 days. I've seen this. So the research is always important. Just always going back to, you know, knowing what's going on with the company and everything like that. But clearly, I cannot find that article, and I'm not going to waste time on it. Looking on it just to record, but I want to go over the actual chart pattern itself. Even not buying over 8 is a good idea, just because of, you know, this little support right here. This little support right here at 840. Yeah, 840. A little bit of lower 840s. So, you know, you see that support. You see it's coming in over here. You see that there's some buying over here around the 830s, 840s. You know, and then this is some slight support over here in the 820s. So you know, it kind of makes sense that, hey, you know, if it can test that, and as we can see, it's going in a bearish direction now. It's not oversold. If we can see that, then it is quite possible that it can get down to the 7s. So that just makes, you know, that makes perfect sense. But at the same time, you know, how much lower will it go? And I don't think earnings, you know, really lifted this company. It just really dropped it down too. So, you know, it's giving me a little skeptical look on, you know, where I should really buy in at. But I do know that Dropbox comes out towards the end of the month. I think like March 27th or something. Excuse me. So we'll see what happens with this stock in relation to it. But I still did like the buy. I did like the buy at, where did I buy you at? Oh, 920. So I did buy you at 920. And then, you know, it just didn't break that 950 area, which is what I was hoping for. I was hoping it would break 950, but it didn't, and that's okay. It did come back down on me. And I end up selling at 890, which was, I was fine with that. I was absolutely okay with how that purchase went, because I thought it was going to go up further. I'm trying to really find my spot in this, because I bought you on the 13th. So bought it here on the 13th, and that was when, you know, earnings. So it was, you know, I was like, okay, you might have some momentum going in your direction to go up higher, but it really didn't. It just lost its footing. So now it's at 840 or so. I don't know why I keep on going to that chart. Let me go to a more suitable chart. Okay, that's fine. 2, 2, 2, 9, 12, 13. So I bought it in here, thinking that, hey, this is gonna, you know, have some. It has, you know, it hit resistance here. It hit resistance here. I'm like, hey, if earnings can jolt this up higher, why not? You know, off the bounce would have probably been even nicer, you know, going into earnings. But hey, it's okay. You know, you don't get them all the time. You know, so I still think this was a good buy. I'm not going to harp on it. I just think it was a good buy. So I'll go to ATOM. ATOM was another one. It was a low float stock at 12 million. I like the fact that it was running 12 million or 12, 20. Yeah, 12 million. I'm bugging. Okay. So now, even on this long term chart, it looks like it still has potential to crack 8. So let me take you through what I did on on that the 14th. So going back, because I never really know the day number. I just know it's like Tuesday, Wednesday. All right, so I ended up buying you at 920 of 920, 720, thinking that you're going to go up. 720, no, 740. My bad. So I bought it at 740. Let me just see. This is why I write down my notes, and sometimes I just have to speak it out. So this actually is a platform to help me speak out the nonsense of the stock market because nobody else around me knows or understands like the nuances. So it's good to always have traders out there that are technical experts as well. So if anyone ever has any comments that they want to like interject at any given time, that's cool too. But this is really just for me, just to verbalize and get used to speaking the lingo, and I just have to continue practicing. And this is a way of me practicing. So I bought some at the 740 area, thinking that it was going to break this 8. Not bad. What I did find particularly, I shouldn't say upsetting, but pretty much disappointing, is that it came back. And when it came back, I could have sold it way before this happened, because I did see that 750 was an area that, what 750 was the area of support. So I could have definitely just came out with some positive returns, but instead I held it and thinking, it has another chance. And that last chance, 1, 2, 3 times a lady, she falls, and then she definitely fell past 750. So I lost. I ended up selling this at what was it, 677, which was more of a loss than I really wanted, but that's okay. That was more, 40 and 28, and so it's 68 cent loss. 67, yeah, 67 cents per share. So I could have definitely got out sooner, but because I was trying to be greedy, as opposed to, that's only 40 cents a share. I've only got 40 cents a share on the upside. I should, I wanted to go up higher. And 8 was just that luck. And then, really the resistance was started at 8. And it just, this, as we can see by the 5-minute chart, it just started to bounce down. That was a good, area right here. So so it's good to know that I knew where the support was, but should have sold, but I just got greedy. And identifying when you get greedy is, a nuance, but it always serves as a learning experience too. I want to go with ZASN. I bought this in the run-up pre-market, which is something I never do. So that is why I will forever remember this trade. This trade will be a nuance to me because I did see it at the 18s, and I was like, I should buy this at 1860. Did not buy this at 1860 and watch it go on its mighty gallop throughout the day, at least throughout the pre-market. And when you have these run-ups, especially going in on a Friday, it does give that anticipation that, hey, it's a low float, and this low float can go supernova, especially with with the news that it was coming out with. It was just the fact that, hey, another biotech company that has a drug on migraines is now able to go through the roof, and something suppressed it, but It wasn't. What was this float actually? Let me see. What notes do I have on you? Of course, no. I know I had. It was no. I probably didn't have notes on it because I bought this when I woke up going into Friday, as opposed to doing my research the night before. And that's the one thing. I worked on Thursday, so I was quite tired, which is no excuse. I still should have put in the time to look at what was going to happen in the market, especially if that's another you know source of income. If I'm going to put my money into it and do the research, I did the research with TEUM, and that's why I was able to gain money on it. With ATOM, I know it was just more of me being greedy and not just taking my rewards. ZASN, it was just because I did not study before. If I studied the night before, I would have definitely did much better on this trade. So I deserve to lose on this, and I definitely lost $1.90 a share. And because I had listened to my gut instinct that said you did not study the night before, do not trade, I would not made this trade. One, pre-market, and two, because I didn't study. So that was a learning lesson for me, and I am forever grateful for that. So, in knowing that, I ended up, when I saw this starting to get up to the 1860s, I said, you know what, this is something I should definitely buy. Once it was approaching here, I said, you know what, let me get in. So I got in, and and it just went. Hold on. No, I didn't buy at 1830. Sorry, I sold at 1830. That's right. Um, because yes, I didn't. Like I said, I didn't do the research, and I didn't prepare. If I was prepared, I would have made a killing on this. But I didn't. I bought at 20, and it went up to 21.45. But hey, it just came right back down, and that's my loss. That's where I lost at. So you know, hey, as sad as it is, and it had positive drug news and all that stuff. So hey, it's okay. It might be depressing as I say it now, but I learned that you just don't buy if you didn't study, and don't buy. Just because it's the pre-market. So I don't buy in the pre-market, and so but I should have I taken the chance, and I didn't pay off on the rewards. I should have just sold. I should have sold. But there might have been something that gave me more of a reason why not to sell yet, and I can't only imagine it was that 25.70. Yeah, probably that $20 area probably enticed me. As I look at, there's resistance right here, the 20, well, more support if any. Well, no, this is resistance. This is resistance, and then more resistance. So, you know, I could only hope it would have broken out more and did this type of return during the day. Like this would have been nice because this happened it was going on for a couple of hours, like up until 2. Like it just kept on going up. So I can kind of see why, but at the same time, we look at the 15-minute chart. Look at it. Like you see where it's like the 15 minutes, there was nothing but selling. If we look at the 2-minute chart, there was nothing but selling. The cursor. It's just nothing but selling. I could have sold this going into the day and just, but 21.45. I could have just sold the limit at 21 and called it a day, but I didn't, and I paid. I had to pay. So that's my education, and I'm sticking to it. AMRS. You're another low float stock. No, actually, this wasn't as low float. This one was more It had a float of, I think it was like 43 million, and out of that 43 million, there was just 21% short percentage, if I remember correctly. So this one, I got in at a relatively good price. I got in at 690, thinking that it was gonna go past seven, which it kind of it did start to. It did start to, and before it came back down. So bought this on yesterday, which was Friday. This was earnings. Yeah, it came out with earnings. Earnings was good, but for some odd reason, it just wasn't doing anything right. So I got in on you after, what was it? Right around here, 690. I got in right around here. Um, Probably thinking that was going to give me a bullish candle after this, because this is more bullish engulfing, kind of, sort of, because there's more potential buys here. But I guess those buys turn into selling in that hour, and which this hour was canceled out by this hour, but this hour definitely wasn't. It just continued. The momentum continued to show that the supply was becoming wide and open, and no one wants it. So I end up selling this one at 640, losing 50 cents a share. Definitely could have cut my losses a lot easier, a lot sooner on this, but I didn't, obviously. So I end up selling. Well, I end up coming back down to what, 630, to the 630 ish area. So 630 ish, starting to come back down from there. So that's pretty okay. That's like, you know, not okay, but that's like good support right now, as of right now. So who knows? Maybe there might be a carry through because of you know volume or something like that. That there might be more um, uh, consumer interest in the stock and would want to shoot it up. But if it's not going to fulfill my pattern, then I just need to not get into the trade as well. But I thought this had momentum. It broke out already through one, this two, so it was a multi-day breakout. What much more can you ask? There's only so much you can ask out of this. Like $7 seems pretty reasonable, like, so I just bought probably a little bit too high at 690, anticipating that there would be more of a spike. But it did. That was a high, and oh yeah, this also had support at 650. So that was another reason why I bought in, thinking that it was going to hold that support and go to the 720s, but definitely didn't. Definitely did not. And I see that it might even do what it did back here, which is find some market trend down. But I don't think it will fill this gap, though. I think it would sustain this gap and probably be trading in the low sixes, until it finds some more momentum going in. So right now it's turning. The MACD is turning bullish. The RSI, where it's overbought, oversold, is turning bullish as well. So, this could potentially create some more trading opportunities. So, I hope that I know I started to taper off towards the end, but I hope that this made sense in some way, shape, or form. Like I said, I'm just verbalizing some of the things that I've seen, some of the trends that I've done this past week. I'm anticipating getting in with better trades, beginning with KEW, KEYW. I got in on this probably a little bit later than I should have. Of course, I bought at 805, thinking that it was going to hold its support over here, but it didn't. It kind of fell back down. But I anticipate that this is part of my pattern. This is part of the pattern that I normally trade when it comes to the market, especially when they have something substantial like earnings. So I anticipate getting a nice return on this one, at least by the end of the week. I could see it going into the 860s, the 870s. So I wouldn't mind taking a 30, it's about 60 cents a share. So I wouldn't mind taking that. So we'll see. We're going to try it. We're going to try it during the week. But that'll be for another video. I'm going to go do my evening prayers, and see you on the next video. Or, well, you'll hear me on the next video.